God answers with instruction. Many times when we are experiencing unanswered prayers, it's usually because God has already answered, but maybe not in the way that you expect. And most likely, God answers many of the times with instruction. Let me give an example. When Moses was speaking to God in the wilderness, and he was unsure about the commission that he was being given. So he asks God, he says, how will the people believe me? Or the people will not believe me. And then God says to Moses, what is that in your hand? And he says, this is my staff. And then God says, throw it down. Now, if you're looking at the progression of the conversation, Moses is having a confidence issue. He's saying, these people aren't going to believe what I'm going to say to them. But God seems to respond in an unrelated way. He gives him an instruction, throw down your staff onto the ground. And yet when Moses obeys this instruction, he witnesses a miracle that answers his question. Another example is with Elisha, the prophet Elisha, and there was Naaman, the Assyrian. He had leprosy. And so when he comes to Elisha, Elisha sends a servant to say to him, go and wash yourself 7 times in the river Jordan. Now, Naaman was, justifiably offended, and he's like, he doesn't even, consider me, to even come and actually speak to me himself. And then he tells me to go and bath, in the river. And he considered actually ignoring this instruction. But yet this instruction was the response to his prayer, or to what he wanted. And when he obeyed the instruction, when he went into the river Jordan, his leprosy was cleansed. We have another example of Jesus and the 10 lepers. And they come to him and he says to them, go and show yourselves to the priest. Now the instruction seems counterintuitive. They have leprosy, they need healing, but Jesus says, go and show yourself to the priest. Yet when they obeyed, when they went on their way, on the road of obedience to the instruction, they were healed. Many of the times, even when we are making prayers for the things that we are asking for, God responds with an instruction. And sometimes it may feel unrelated to what it is we are asking God. Maybe you're asking God for provision. Maybe you're taking care of your child and you need school fees, you need rent, you've lost your job, and you're saying, God, I need a new job. And God sends somebody to you who says, would you like to come to our church? And it's an invitation to your church. And inside your heart, you feel, you get this confirmation in your heart that this is what God is asking you to do. But maybe for some reason, maybe you don't like the pastor, maybe you don't like some of the people there, you choose not to go. But what you don't know is that instruction that God is giving you to go to that church is actually in response to your prayer. And if you go there, you will find you will get the connections to the people that hold the answers already. And it may be, God is asking you to do something, maybe to go to a new place, or maybe to stop what you're doing, or to connect with somebody maybe that you haven't connected with in a long time, and maybe or to reconcile with a certain someone, and you wonder, why is God asking me to do this? And usually it's connected to a request that you are making, and in obeying that instruction, you will find the answer that you are to your prayer. So many times God answers prayer through instruction. Stay blessed.